Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, all. Today I am going to take into account the third unit, that is nothing but joint venture after consignment. Joint venture is nothing but the word itself, it tells us about the meaning. Joint, that is when two or more people, when they come together and when they join together, it is nothing but joint. Venture means work. That is when two or more people, when they come together and to do a work, and after completion of their work, when they go away, okay, when they go away, taking their contributions, we'll call that thing as joint venture. The other name for joint venture is nameless partnership. When you go for partnership business, there must be a name for this partnership business. But here in joint venture, there won't be any name. People voluntarily they will come forward to do a work, and after completion of the work, they will separate. If they stay, okay, well and good. If they won't stay, they won't. And generally, after completion of the work, the persons they will take their amounts, final amounts, and they will go away. That is nothing but joint venture. Okay, and in joint venture, you won't come across two people. You'll come across more than two. Sometimes two people, and sometimes three people. They'll come together and they'll join together. They'll bring some amount and they will start the work, and after completion of the work they will just disperse. That type of business, we'll call that thing as joint venture. And construction of roads, buildings, bridges, all these things will come across in joint venture. Okay, two or more people, they will come together, they will join together, they will contribute, and they will start the work, they will complete the work, and after completion of the work, they will take back their amounts and they will go away. So this is not a regular contract. We can say that this is not a regular contract. Okay, for time being, when you come across combination of all the people and doing that work, and after completion of the work, when they disperse, it is nothing but joint venture. In joint venture, there is quite different from consignment place. In consignment, you will come across two people, but in joint venture, you will come across more than two people. Suppose, for example, A, B, C, they will come together, they will undertake a work, they will complete the work, and after the completion of the work, they will go away. That is, whatever it may be, the agreed contract amount, agreed price, they'll take back after completion of the work, and they'll disperse and they'll distribute the amounts and they'll go away. Here, profit is every businessman, they will look after the profit, as it is quite but natural that. Okay, in the same way, joint venture also will take into account the profit amount and will distribute among all the partners in their agreed proportions. Okay, and they may stay or they may not stay. Generally speaking, they won't stay, they'll disperse, because their regular works, they will be different. So just for time being and time purpose, they will come together, they will join together. So that's why it is also known as nameless partnership business. In joint venture, what is the accounting treatment that we will come across? The accounting treatment will be in two ways. Okay, when separate set of books are maintained and when separate set of books are not maintained. These are the two methods that you will come across when you come across this joint venture. When separate set of books are maintained, that is, separately some books were maintained by the people, and they will do the business, and after doing the business, they'll take back their profits and they'll take back their amounts and they'll go away. Okay, don't be of that opinion that they will always get profit. They'll get loss also. Sometimes they will incur loss. So when they incur loss, automatically they have to share the loss in what way they are sharing the profits amounts, and they have to bear the loss. Okay, so this is how you will come across when separate set of books, that is separate persons, they will prepare their accounts apart from joint venture persons. And in joint ventures, the persons we will call them as co-venturers. Okay, the co-venturers, what they will do is they will come together, they will join together, and they will do the work, and after completion they will go away. So this is how you will come across joint venture. So when separate set of books, apart from co-venturers, some other people, they will maintain the books, and they will do the accounting system, they will prepare the accounts, and they will come to know about the profit amount and loss amount, and they will distribute that, and they will take away the co-venturers, they will take away. This is one method. The second method is when separate set of books are not maintained. In this, again, you will come across two methods. That is when separate set of books are not maintained. In this, one co-venturer, he will prepare the accounts, and he will look after the accounts, and whatever it may be the result, they will distribute that, and they will take away. This is one method. And the second method is when all the co-venturers, when they maintain the accounts, okay, when they maintain the accounts, that is nothing but one type of this thing. That is every co-venturer, they will prepare the accounts, and at the end of the period, at the end of the work venture, they will bring their accounts, whatever they have prepared, and they will look after each and everything. Okay, and if they are satisfied, then they will push off. Okay, this is how you will come across. Now, in this class, I am going to tell you about what are the journal entries that we come across, what are the general ledger accounts that we have to prepare. All these things we will learn in this class. That is when separate set of books are maintained. Okay, just a minute, I'll tell you about all those things. Yeah, when separate set of books are maintained, okay, what are the accounts that are to be prepared? First thing is joint bank account. The second one is joint venture account, and each co-venturer's account. Okay, these are the various accounts that will come across when separate set of books are maintained. First of all, they will prepare the joint venture account to come to know about the profit amount or loss amount. Then, after that, they have to prepare the personal accounts of the co-venturers. How many are there, that many personal accounts they are to be prepared. And at last, they will prepare the joint bank account. This is how you will come across. Okay, this is how you will come across. And what are the journal entries that we will come across when separate set of books are maintained? For cash contribution by the co-venturers, for cash contribution, whatever it may be, the amount that they bring. Okay, so for that, what is the entry? Joint bank account that are to personal accounts of co-venturers. That is all the amounts, whatever they brought in, they will open a joint bank account. In that bank account, they will keep that amount. That is nothing but joint bank. For purchases made for the joint venture out of the joint bank account, from the joint bank account, they will do the purchases. The co-venturers, they will do the purchases. And for that, what is the entry? Joint venture account that are to joint bank account. Because for joint venture only they are making the purchases. So joint venture account that are to joint bank account. That is, they are taking from the joint bank account. For goods supplied or expenses incurred by a co-venturer, joint venture account that are to co-venturer's personal account. For goods supplied or for expenses incurred, okay, by any co-venturer. For example, take for example A, B, C. So A will contribute some materials, B will contribute some materials, C will contribute some materials. Similarly, A will incur some expenses, B will incur some expenses, C will incur some expenses. So joint venture account debtor to co-venturers personal account. For expenses towards joint venture paid from joint bank. Okay, like how they are making purchases, the expenses also from joint bank they will make. So in that case, joint venture account debtor to joint bank account, that is a entry that we have to pass. For goods sold for cash or contract price received is deposited into joint bank account. Bank account or joint bank account debtor to joint venture account. This is joint bank account debtor because they are depositing that in the joint bank account. So joint bank account debtor to joint venture account. Okay. For shares or debentures received as part payment of the contract price, shares account debtor to joint venture account. Suppose if they construct a company building, okay, the company people, if for the contract price, they will give cash as well as shares. So when the company people, when they are giving shares, that shares also we have to take into account. So for that the entry is shares account debtor to joint venture account. For sale of shares received or taken over by a co-venturer. Okay, when they are selling the shares or when any co-venturer when they are taking the shares, what is the entry? Joint bank account debtor or joint bank account debtor, co-venturer's personal account debtor to shares account. If they are selling the shares, okay, if they are selling the shares, okay, joint bank account will come. Suppose if they are taken over by any co-venturer, so co-venturer's personal account debtor to shares account. For transfer of profit on sale or taking over of shares by co-venturer, okay, suppose if they got any profit on transfer or sale of shares, then shares account debtor to joint venture account. Shares account debtor to joint venture account for profit if any. Suppose if there is loss, joint venture account debtor to shares account. If there is any loss in sale or taking over of shares by any co-venturer. For goods taken over by a co-venturer, some of the co-venturers they will take the goods, the remaining goods they will take away. So in that case, co-venturer's personal account debtor to joint venture account. Co-venturer's personal account debtor to joint venture account for goods taken over by any co-venturer. For commission interest payable to a co-venturer, because some people they will concentrate on sales somehow. Okay, for sales, for doing the sales, some commission will be paid or interest will be paid. So for that, what is the entry that will come across? Joint venture account debtor to personal account of co-venturer. Personal account of co-venturer. This is how you will come across. Okay. Now after that, we will prepare the joint venture account. And if credit is more than debit, it is nothing but profit. When debit is more than credit, it is nothing but loss. For transfer of profit, joint venture account debtor to personal accounts of co-venturers. Personal accounts of co-venturers for profit. Suppose if there is loss, reverse entry, personal accounts of co-venturers account debtor to joint venture account. Okay, this thing you will come across. And after preparing this, after passing all these entries, then we will come across the last stage, that is the the co-venturers. What they will do is, after preparing the co-venture account, after completion of the books, then what they will do is they will take into account the joint bank and they will see their accounts, how much is the amount due for them. They will take that and from the bank they will withdraw that. So thereby the joint bank account will be closed. So for that, personal accounts of co-venturers account debtor to joint bank account. Okay, personal accounts of co-venturers account debtor to joint bank account. when they are going to take the amounts. Suppose if any person, if they want, if he has to give, then joint bank account that are to personal account of co-venturer. That is reverse the case. Okay, so with this, all the accounts will be closed. That is joint venture account, joint bank account, and personal accounts of co-venturers will be closed. So with this, the separate set of books will come to an end. Okay, and in the next class we will go for when separate set of books are not maintained. Okay, until then, have a nice day. Okay, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.